From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football, the Phoebus Phantoms and the Hampton Crabbers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium on a beautiful night for football with a great lineup of football for you folks. The 4-1 Phoebus Phantoms and the 5-0 Hampton Crabbers. I believe the phrase is it don't get any better than this.
It doesn't. I tell you, it's going to be a great game. And I got the chance to talk to both coaches, and you'll hear that. But one thing I didn't talk to the coaches about, and I want to emphasize tonight, is the offensive line for both teams. These young men, whoever can control that line of scrimmage tonight, Tim, it's going to make a big difference in who wins this ball game. I think passing is going to come in, but you're going to have to run the ball first to draw those linebackers in to be able to pass the ball. But on the Hampton side, you've got Wilson at the center, and you've got Davis and Williams at the tackles, and Clayton and Small at the at the tackle position. These young men do a great job. You look on the Phoebus side, you got Pavlik, who's been there for a long time at center, Tiddell, who played at Hampton and is now starting guard at Phoebus, Braxton and the other guard, and the two tackles are Bowles and Bunch. So, and if you look at the weights we're talking about, Phoebus probably averages 250 to 260, and Hampton about the same thing, maybe 245 to 250. So who's going to control the line of scrimmage tonight? I think that's going to determine who's going to win this game.
Now, these two teams come in with very similar statistics in offense. They're actually second and third behind Warwick on the Peninsula District as far as leading the offense is concerned. But in the defensive part of it, these guys are 1 and 2. Now, the Phantoms only allow about 5 points a game. Hampton only allows about 10 points a game. Each team is scoring about 30 points a game. So, it's the old proverbial something's got to give here, and it's going to come down to that. Now, we can talk about specifics. We know about Hampton. We've seen Phoebus as well. Both of these teams have excellent running games. The passing game is not their main stable to this. We saw Hendrick last week do a good job running the offense for the Phantoms. We've seen Wyatt do a progressively better job every week running the offense for the Crabbers.
Yeah, but I don't think that you can discount both of these young men passing the ball. I think they're going to be able to pass the ball well tonight. And because we don't have a lot of wind. It's a perfect night. It's the low 70s, high 60s. And if you can run and have a little success running, that's going to open up your passing game, especially Phoebus with the big kid, Shaheed Harris, going across the center. I mean, you're talking about a kid, huge, big target. You get around, he's got good hands, he'll catch the ball. And I think that makes a big difference. But if you look at the defensive side, how the defense is going to stop the other, I think you have to look at the 4 linebackers from both teams. Yep. And Phoebus has got some linebackers. They got Dixon, Blunt, Lee, and Hall. And I'm not discounting who's on the line, understand, but the linebackers are usually the ones that end up making the most tackles. And on the Hampton side, you got Banks, Fenner, Callis, and Schuler. So you got linebackers very active on both sides, not only to stop the ball, but then to drop back into the flat and into the hook zone to take away that short pass. So these guys are not only just rushing and stopping the run, but they also have to be very conscious of the passing game of both teams tonight.
You mentioned any more guys, we won't have to do the starting lineup.
Well, no, but normally we don't get to talk about the linebackers and the offensive line, and I think it's very important that these young men get some recognition because they really they are the unsung heroes. They do a lot of stuff down and dirty in the mud, spitting and blowing snot bubbles out of their nose and all this stuff, and they don't get the recognition, and I think they deserve it because they do a great job for both of these teams. Mike said in his interview,
don't give it away now.
No, but we run the ball because we got people making blocks.
Sure.
And Bill Dee will tell you the same thing.
Well, and it goes back to the basics. When you get right down to it to these two teams, both of these teams have been successful because they do the basics well. Mike Smith teaches the basics. Bill Dee teaches the basics. They both are great defensive strategists. It's just always a classically good game.
Yes, it is. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, right now we're going back in time. Bob had a chance a little earlier to talk with head coach Bill Dee of the Phoebus Phantoms.
Bill, always when you guys play Hampton, it's a big game. But when you play any of the Hampton schools, it's always a big game because the kids know each other. But this is a point where you want to be able, if you can win, that puts you in the kind of the catbird seat as far as going to Division V playoffs.
Well, I mean, it definitely will help. I mean, this is always a tough game, and right now we've got a loss in the district, so definitely, where our backs are to the walls, that we need this win to stay in the district hunt.
Tonight, playing against Hampton, I noticed that Warwick put a 9-man lineup on you. Bethel moved to the linebackers up, played an 8-man line. That really hurts the running game when you were outmanned on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but we still ran the ball pretty good. So and Ronnie's very capable of throwing. So we've mixed it up when we needed to. We had some big pass plays last week, I thought, and when the ground game's were and you're killing a lot of time, I think the thing that hurt us last week, Bethel came out and played the kid had a great punt return,
right,
and that got him back in the game, and that's always a tough game. So every game in this district is a very important game.
Right. Now, I talked to you earlier today about Shaheed, big target going across the middle. That helps you, but Ronnie can throw the ball. You just don't throw it that much. But I'm watching him warm up. He throws a nice tight spiral.
Yeah, Ronnie throws well. He's maturing to the point where he can, I think he can do a lot of things, and he's being a leader of the team. And there's, passing statistics are overrated. I mean, we throw the ball enough. We're right. I think there's only 2 other teams that have thrown the ball more than we have. So, I mean, I just think that's an overstated thing that we don't pass the ball. We just, we were always run the ball well, but we pass the football. And Ronnie's got an excellent rating. He's only got 1 interception this year, and so knock on wood. So
use my head.
Right.
Well, listen, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Good enough. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be with Tim Cole in just a second.
Well, of course, Bill Dee, the one loss, that one blemish, I know he'd love to replay that Warwick game because he probably believes in his heart they could have won that game.
Well, Bill told me that he said we really got outplayed because we shot ourselves in the foot. He said statistically we were moving the ball, we were down where we could have scored. He said a missed block assignment, a holding penalty, just really killed it. He said we were our own worst enemy on that night. And you could see when they turned around and how they manhandled a good Heritage team.
Yes.
So we're talking about a team that looked like, say, oh, man, they're not going to be able to beat Heritage, just manhandled them.
Well, that's how teams lose. I mean, let's face it, turnovers is the key, or mistakes is the key to any game. If you play a perfect game, more than likely you're not going to lose the game. But in the pros, you see it. You see a team, I won't even go into the particulars, but you see a team like Arizona last week shouldn't have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles for all intents and purposes.
But they did.
Because they didn't commit the turnovers and they were opportunistic. That's what it's going to take tonight for the team that's going to come on top of this contest, and it's a huge contest. Phoebus, with the 1 loss, cannot afford another loss in Division 5. Hampton could afford a loss. I wouldn't want to say it that way. They could more afford a loss than Phoebus can.
Let me throw something out that a lot of people may not understand, but there may be 4 teams from the peninsula go to Division 5. If a Division 5 team does not win the district that they're in on the other side, especially the Eastern District, then we could have 4 teams. We could have Warwick, Heritage, Hampton, and Phoebus all going to the playoffs.
Oh, would that ever be fun? All right, we're going to go back in time again. A little earlier, Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
How's your shoulder? Good.
Doing good. Mike, it's good to talk to you tonight. I'm watching your team always come up with a group of people that can run the ball. And that's one thing, but you also pass the ball well, even with this new young quarterback you got.
Well, you can't run the ball if you don't block well.
Right.
And, Coach, any success that we've had, is, the kids work very hard, and any success we've had comes to the assistant coaches. And guys been around like Danny and Alvis over the years, and
That's gotta
Lanny
help
been
you.
around, and Kenny back, and Myron Newsom back, and Michael Higgins, and Mike Norton with us this year. Just a lot of people. Brian Gerzak was with us. He's gone for a while, but had to go to night shift. But Coach Mitchell and Coach Mann been around for a long time. They run the show. I just watch them most of the time.
No, that's not what I hear. But tell me what you expect from Phoebus tonight.
Well, they're very tough on defense. They play very good defense. They force the issue with you, up front, play a lot of man, bring a lot of heat, try to create confusion with the different fronts. So I think you have to be aware of the things that they'll line in, be able to check off on those things. And offensively, they line up, run the ball right over you.
Yeah.
And they've been doing a pretty good job. But McWright's a very good back, tough kid. I mean, you know, I really applaud him. He's not a big kid, but he runs big.
He does run big, yeah.
He's tough. He runs exceptionally hard.
How important is it to make adjustments during the game when they put a different front up there? Are your kids be able to pick that up pretty quick?
Well, I hope so. You know, we spent enough time this week trying to recognize there's always so many different fronts you can get into, you know.
Right.
And they're playing gap defense like most people doing these days. They're signing people gaps. And the big thing is recognizing if, you know, they're coming in a stunt or
Right.
they run the defensive run and try to make, you know, the call at the line on it.
Right.
It's a challenge, you know. We do the same thing sometimes, so it's a chess game a lot of times.
Yes, it is. Well, listen, chess master, good luck to you tonight.
Well, I expect it should be a good one tonight.
Good enough. Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium, the Phoebus High School Marching Band has done an excellent rendition of our national anthem to get things started for tonight. Both of the teams, or at least the Hampton team, is on the field, and Phoebus is getting set just to the right of your picture to come on the field. And Bob, the excitement for these games is always something you can feel in the air.
Well, I tell you, you can tonight, Tim, and both sides are going to be packed. This side is packed, and the far side is slowly filling up. So, this is what we wait for.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Mom apple pie in USA.
You got it. A little bit of ice cream on top of that apple pie.
Right. And there you see the Phoebus Phantoms. They are the visitors for tonight's contest.
What a beautiful night, Tim. And the wind is almost non-existent. I don't think it's going to have an effect on it with the passing game or anything.
All right, tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms, with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you, your friendly neighborhood store. And by Pearls at 15 North Mallory in Hampton. They're located in Phoebus. Call them at 722-1907. And in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, located at the Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue. Give them a call at 827-4670.
Tim, while we get a chance to look at the Phantoms over on the far sideline, I do want to let the players and the fans know that we will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight. Those players will receive plaques and shirts. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalder, who is the owner, at 596-8850. The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
There you see the officials for tonight's contest, or at least two of the officials. The gentleman with his back to you in the white cap, that is our referee, Mick McCullough. Umpire is Don Klemensick. The linesman is Alan Denton. The line judge is Gary Roby. John Patrick is your field judge, and your back judge is Tom Chisman. Just looking at some of the information I had here while we're waiting for the two teams to have their captains out at the center. Talk about Mike Smith over at Hampton coming into this season, and you can add 5 victories to this total. They had 319 wins and 45 losses with 2 ties in 30 seasons, so he's got 324, 45, and 2 now. And our good buddy Bill Dee over at Phoebus High School, he has added 4 to his total, so he's won 64 and 47 in 16 seasons coaching in the high school ranks.
And the rest of those coaches with Hampton, of course, Albus Mann, Danny Mitchell, Lanny Franklin, Kenny Gilliam, Brian Gerzak, Mike Hagans, Mike Norton, Myron Newsom, and Shannon Smith. Over at Phoebus, assistants Ron Johnson, Greg Navarre, Dick Van Dyke, Jerry King. I'll get the rest of them in a minute.
All right, let's go down to the field and the pregame ceremony.
Well, I could give them to you while they're shaking hands. Jerry King, Greg Day, Stan Sexton, Bob Sislow, and James Holbert.
great football teams, two great coaches.
Two captains for
We're here to
Phoebus.
work hard for you tonight.
And Jeremy Blunt. Number 3, Ronnie Hendrick.
Anybody have
Number 12, Mike Dixon. And number 87, Steve Harris.
Anybody.
For the Crabbers.
Good start.
One time we need Mick to turn on.
Everybody set for that?
Number 9,
right.
Wilson Banks
Any other
Jr.
questions? No questions. We already
75, Travis Creighton.
Hampton wanted to first.
Number 70, Stephen Williams. Number 8, Alvin Banks.
And deferred to the second half.
Hampton won. Phoebus on offense first tonight.
Good. Run this way. Phoebus Phantoms. Phoebus Phantoms will receive. It's the first half. Kickoff. Here we go.
We got it sounds like we got a short or something in the mic because we're picking up part of it. But anyway, what Hampton did was they won the toss and deferred to the second half. Phoebus will take the offense first, and we'll give you our lineups. And there you see the Phoebus Phantoms offense. Center, Pavlik, the guards, Tidwell and Braxton, the tackles, Bowles and Bunch, the ends, Harris and Blunt, flanker, Phillip Brown, quarterback is Ronnie Hendricks, Xavier Dee is a fullback, and Travis McKnight, good runner, is the tailback. And kicking for them, kicking off, when they do kick off, will be number 33, Darius Barnes.
And we'll have the Phoebus offense for you in just a moment.
That was a Phoebus offense.
I'm sorry, the Hampton defense, what I was trying to say. In any event, Aaron Whitehead has the ball teed up for the Hampton Crabbers. Back deep for the Phantoms, Travis McWright standing at the 5-yard line, and he is going to instead let DJ Parker take it at the 3. Parker picks his way upfield across the 20 to about the 21-yard line, where the Phantoms will have the ball 1st and 10. 17-yard return on the kickoff. And here is your defense for the Crabbers. Stephen Williams and Jones, the tackle, Creighton and Johnson, the ends. The linebackers are Wilson Banks and Darrell and Fenner. As back to the live action, McWright is stopped cold on the play. Outside linebackers Larry Callis and Schuler. The corners are Williams and Brown, and the safety is Travis Richmond for the Hampton Crabbers. On the first play from scrimmage, the Phantoms lost 4 yards on the play.
Defense makes a big difference, and if you can establish some power right off and get the Phantoms to punt without getting a first down, you're going to end up with good field position.
And McWright breaks open into the open field. He is very close to the first down, depending on the mark, and a couple of late flags come down.
Might have been face mask, Tim, but I tell you what a job McWright did off of the veer.
Wait and see. He did get enough yardage for the first down, but the penalty is going to be a face mask against Hampton, so that will ensure the first down.
And Tim, that's not that is a bad face mask. That's a 15-yarder.
There is, in fact, the option for inadvertent face mask, which is 5, but this is the big one, all the way out to the 48.
All right, we're picking up a little bit of Mick anyway.
48-yard line. The first down was made by McWright, and then the 15 tacked on. This is Xavier Adibi getting the call. He crosses midfield close to the Hampton 49-yard line. And a gain on that play of 3, 2nd down and 7. Just a reminder for those of you who may not be totally familiar with it, the time per quarter in high school football is 12 minutes, in difference to 15 in both the colleges and the pros.
Well, Phoebus is basically in a tight offense. They've just got one wide receiver.
That's DJ Parker in motion to the left. The pitch back to number 2, Philip Brown, and Brown is tripped up as he got to the Hampton 46-yard line.
Well, Tim, I don't think he tripped up. I think when he made his cut, his foot got caught in the turf, and he tripped himself up.
Didn't look that way. They mark him, in fact, at the 47, so just a 2-yard pickup. Watch the replay here and see if we can pick that up. Yeah, it did look just when he tried to cut, and the field is in excellent condition.
Oh, it really is. Larry Malloy and his crew have done an excellent job.
As always. 3rd down and about 5 for the Phantoms. On the option play, Hendricks is tripped up in quickly. Number 64, Charles Jones, making the stop. And that'll bring up a 4th down and about 5 for the Phantoms. They'll have to make that decision. Looks like they're going to.
Larry Callis, Tim, one of the linebackers, really hit him low, and then he stumbled and was finished off. But there was a great job by that linebacker breaking in there. Brings up a punting situation, but at least now you're not going to give the Hampton Crabbers, barring a nice run back, great field position.
Greg Narvid is back in deep punt formation. Alvin Banks is the only, and they run into the kicker. That'll bring a penalty flag, and that should be enough for a 1st down. Fair catch called for at the 17-yard line, but this one's going to come back. Greg Narvid run into, contact made. Now again, this could be running into the kicker versus roughing the kicker.
Yeah, running in is only a 5-yard attempt, and it may not be it's pretty close.
This is I'm thinking they're going to give him the 15-yarder on this. They made pretty good contact with him, but of course we'll wait and let referee McCullough sort this out for us. It was going to be it was 4th down and about 5. Still no indication, and the referee is. It's going to be the big one. They're marking the ball off all the way down to the Hampton 32.5-yard line. So 2 very costly penalties, or potentially costly penalties, I guess I should say.
Well, the first one, Tim, he'd already picked up the 1st down.
He knocked it into it. He turned around and knocked it. Let's play
But this one really helped because the Phantoms end up with the ball.
Instead of Hampton at the 17, a huge difference here. Phoebus retains possession at the Hampton 32.
Well, now Phoebus has got split out their ends, and then they have a flanker.
They want to throw, and they do. They throw it to the near side, and Philip Brown just didn't grab it and put it away. He was thinking about where he was going before he had the ball.
He was running before he got the ball. You're absolutely right. Just want to let the indoor track people over at Hampton High School know as we watch the replay that on Wednesday, October the 17th at 3 p.m., at Hampton High School, the boys who are interested in outdoor track will meet with Coach Williams in room 146, and the girls will meet in room 162 with our own Ron ESPN Baton. That's anybody at Hampton High interested in indoor track. Be at those meetings.
Philip Brown gets the call. Same young man that couldn't hold on to the pass. And we want to be quick to point out, we're not being critical. He did what we see him do it on Sunday.
Oh,
man. They don't put the ball away. It's just, and quite frankly, I'm not sure that play would have gotten a lot of yardage because Hampton's defense was pretty much on top of the play.
Well, what that offensive play should do, Tim, is go back against the grain. You've got everybody coming, and hopefully he'll pick a lane and maybe pick up some nice yardage if he can get a block, get a couple missed tackles, and pick up some big yardage.
Saw just a moment ago the coaching staff, Mike Smith, and the coaches on the sideline. Nice pass to DJ Parker at the 20-yard line. That will be a 1st down at the 20 of Hampton.
A nice tight spiral that time by Ronnie Hendricks, Tim. I'm real impressed with this young man. He's getting where he throws the ball better every time I see him.
Is the replay coming up? You'll see this executed as well as you can do it. Nice drop. DJ Parker open. 1st down at the Hampton 20. No score here with 8:04 remaining in the 1st quarter. Phoebus has had the ball from the opening kickoff, had it a little more than 4 minutes now. This is McWright. Travis McWright is inside the 15-yard line. So he picks up 5. And again, Phoebus benefiting tremendously by 2 15-yard penalties, one for a face mask call and another for roughing the kicker.
Tim, linebacker Wilson Banks Jr. was in on the stop. Watch him right here come up and make a nice tackle. That was Wilson Banks Jr.
Not until a gain of a little more than 5, however. 2nd down and 5 for the Phantoms. This is a fake to a DB and the pitch to McWright, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a half a yard. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 5.
And I know that Hendricks wishes right then that he would have been able to keep the ball in DB's stomach, because the DB had a head of steam and probably would have picked up about 3 or 4 yards.
Turned out to be the wrong man got the pitch. You get a chance to watch the replay here. You see McWright, and just an excellent job of coming up to make that stop. That was Thomas Hicks, number 72, for the Crabbers, in on the stop.
Hard to get outside on the Crabbers.
Yes, it is. 3rd down and 5 at the Hampton 15. Hendrick has the ball thrown in the flat. Brown is close to the 5-yard line, out of bounds at the 2. That was a beautiful pass play by Hendrick.
And what a nice fake by Ronnie Hendricks.
The Phantoms 1st and goal at the Hampton 2-yard line.
Who was that? Was that Parker?
That was Philip Brown, I believe.
Get
a chance to watch it on the replay here. This was a nice play-action fake.
Yeah,
that's who it was, Philip Brown.
Yep.
And he's been very instrumental in this drive. They're at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. Phantoms have had the ball almost 6 minutes, and Adibi, Xavier Adibi, from 2 yards out, caps a drive from the opening kickoff. Took it 80 yards, Bob. They got back to the 20-yard line, maybe 79-yard drive. It might have been right at the 20, 21-yard line. But again, aided by 2. Now they can be deemed as costly penalties.
Absolutely.
Tavlik will try, Mickle will try the extra point, and it is up, and it is good. So the Phantoms take the ball and hold it for 5 minutes and 32 seconds and score, as you see the replay of the score. And Adibi was never touched.
And that's what I thought the one play before, Tim, when he went through the line pretty easy, but it was over the right side. We do want to mention our crew tonight. We have Scotty.
We have to?
Yeah, Scotty Bowers, our director of the graphics and audio, Andy Foley, the engineer, Don Girouse, the cameras, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron ESPN Baton, instant replay, Andre Mattingly, also in the truck, Mike Nowinski, and our mobile cable technicians, Juan Brown and Desiree Lewis. What a great job.
All right, we're going to give you the Hampton team on offense. Crabbers on offense, they'll have Wilson at the center, the guards of Davis and Williams. Creighton and Small will be the tackles. The tight end is Johnny Pugh Jr. Will Jennings will be your flanker. Andre McClone, the wideout. The quarterback, Stephen Wyatt. Solomon Bassett will share the duties at fullback, and Alvin Banks is your tailback for tonight's Hampton Crabbers.
And Phoebus tried an onside kick to
trying to be a little tricky. Why not?
Well, why not? Might end up with something.
No return on the kick. Just an 18-yard kickoff. So Hampton will have good field position at their own 41-yard line. First time they've had the ball, and we're almost halfway through the first quarter. Stephen Wyatt is the quarterback, converted running back. He's got double wide receivers to the near side. And inside handoff goes to Solomon Bassett, and he picks up maybe a yard at most.
And there you see the Phantom defense tackles Littlejohn and Harris, ends the DB McWright, the inside backers Dixon and Blunt, the outside backers Vernon Lee and Jason Hall, the corners Brown and Parker, and the safety is Marlon Ellis, number 9.
All right, 2nd down and 9. Play action fake. Wyatt wants to throw, has a man open, but overthrows the aforementioned Solomon Bassett. He was open. He
Yes,
just
he
simply
was.
got the ball too tall for him.
Just a little bit outside. Tim Pearls has been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpet, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical, custom designed for your needs. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. President John West and Rita Barker is the vice president.
Third down and long for the Crabbers. They'll send Will Jennings wide to the near side. Out of the shotgun. Stephen Wyatt has time, throws over the middle. Nice, almost catch. I started to say nice catch.
I thought he had it.
Yeah, Alvin Banks had a hand on it, but couldn't bring it down. He would have been in the first down territory, but the ball slipped through his hands, and had he caught that ball, it would have been a spectacular catch.
Absolutely.
So the Crabbers will bring on the kicking team as the Phantom defense does their job. And Aaron Whitehead will be back in deep punt formation, and the lone deep back for the Phantoms will be Philip Brown, who's been extremely busy tonight. Whitehead gets the kick away just barely. High kick, and it takes an excellent Hampton bounce, and it rolls all the way down to the Phoebus 16-yard line. So Aaron Whitehead gets the benefit of a very nice roll, and the Phantoms will start from their 16, leading 7-0. 5:27 left in the first. 42-yard punt and no return.
Tim, I'm getting a little hungry. I'm thinking about running down to Zoom's. I walked in here tonight. Billy Wren says, "Hey, what'd you bring me from Zoom's?" I said, "Billy, I didn't know bring you anything. We ate it before we got here, but they got the Beantown coffee, the chicken, and the wet potato wedges, and your favorite."
Pizza.
Oh, I was thinking Krispy Kreme donuts.
Well, you wash down a Krispy Kreme donut after the pizza. Travis McWright gets the call, left side. He picks up about 6, maybe 7 on the play. Oh, I wish you hadn't talked about that. I could go for some of that fresh fried chicken from Zoom's. Stop by there and fill up the tank, my car and my tummy.
Your tank and your tummy, huh?
Right.
I tell you, Travis is showing some real good moves out there tonight, Tim. He's really put on some weight. We talked about this earlier, that he started about 175 last year, and he's up to about 195 now. Really where he's showing some ability to run over people.
Picked up 6 on that play, 2nd down and 4. And this time he tries the right side and will pick up enough for a first down.
Impressive that time by Travis Richmond, number 12 for the Crabbers, came up and made a stop. And man, if Travis hadn't have been there.
So back-to-back 6-yard runs. Here you'll see the replay of the most recent one for the first down.
Well,
look at that hole.
Move right there. But look at the closure that Travis Richmond had, Tim. Now Travis Richmond plays back there at safety. Did a great job of coming up and allowing him just a few yards.
Yeah, but you don't want your safety making the tackles.
Yeah, but you got to have one that can make tackles.
Oh yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Both sides, but you don't want your safety making tackles on run plays. This is Adivi. He just blows right up the middle to the 35-yard line. Almost knocked over. Well, he did knock over one of his own men. He just had a head of steam and took the ball all the way out to the 35. Let's see where they mark it now. They move it back to the 34. 6-yard pickup. So Phantoms are just knocking off 6 yards at a clip.
Now watch this right there. He went right, knocked one of his players out of the way that were blocking, and he was thinking, "Hey, fellas, there's supposed to be a hole here. I want to make one."
He made his own hole. Again, a 6-yard gain. So that's almost standard for the last 3 plays. This time the Crabber defense is not enough of that. We're going to have to slow this freight train down a little bit. And I'm trying to pick up the number
9, Tim.
Yeah, it was number 9 that came in on to make the stop.
Banks again.
Wilson Banks Jr. on the stop. And it brings up a 3rd down and 2 after a pickup of 2.
Well, see, Banks plays that linebacker. Your linebackers are going to probably end up with most of your tackles anyway. Like you said, you don't want your cornerbacks and safety to have to make them. But I was real impressed with the way Travis Richmond came up and closed on Travis McKnight.
We've got an official's timeout. We've got an
looking for a
chin strap, looks like.
So, yeah.
Probably one of those big linemen ate it. Probably something, some kind of food. So the officiating crew always thinking of safety first. Want to make sure the equipment is proper, and that's the aforementioned Wilson Banks Jr. And he's set to go. So clock is restarted with 3:15 in a rapidly moving first quarter. Hampton's had the ball just once and had to punt. And the Crabbers are now watching the Phantoms for the second possession. Phoebus, of course, took the opening drive and scored. This is Travis McWright. That play is blown up beautifully. And the Hampton defense does a good job of coming over there. But stopping that play was Houston. Check that 32, Larry Callis again.
Yep. I tell you, I'm impressed with Callis. He run that blocker back into the runner. Watch this,
Tim. You're going to see this on a replay. He just blew the play up. Phantoms are moving very nicely. Look at it. He just pushed the blocker. That's a DB he pushed. Well, and he caused the pursuit to get there.
He got underneath the DB's shoulder pads, Tim, and got the leverage and bring up a kicking situation.
Greg Narvid back at his 21-yard line. Alvin Banks back deep to receive. This is a relatively short kick. And it takes again a bounce for the kicking team as the Phantoms will see the ball touched dead at the Hampton 31-yard line. So both defenses have done the job on the second possession for the Phantoms. The Crabber defense doing the job. Now the Phantoms will try and hold Hampton once again, leading 7-0 with 2:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Hope you're enjoying tonight's contest.
Well, Tim, I tell you, there's a lot of hitting going on, and again, I have to go back to who's controlling that line of scrimmage. What offensive line is controlling that line of scrimmage?
This game videotaped on the 12th of October, 2001. This is a direct snap from the shotgun, and Stephen Wyatt, who does this well.
Move.
That's why he's so dangerous as a quarterback. He is so elusive, and he is at the well, actually, he's gotten more than enough for the first down. He needed to get to the 41. He's out of bounds at the 43, so a gain of 12.
I don't know who the player was, Tim, but he watched this move he makes to pick up that first down. This little move right there just ran right away from that would-be tackler.
Hampton with their first down of the ball game coming here at the 2:08 mark of the first quarter. Wyatt play action, has some time now. He's tripped up on a fine defensive play by number 85, Travis Quidera. As he got in the backfield, looked for a moment like Wyatt would be all right, but Quidera got away from his blocker and did the job. Watch the replay here.
What he did is he got a hold of his feet. Watch this right here. He grabbed and got a hold of his feet. He's not going to go away if I got a hold of your leg.
Well, the blocker couldn't hold his block any longer, and without committing a penalty to do so. So the loss is back to the 36-yard line, and that makes it 3rd down and 17 for Hampton.
Well, Hampton's spreading them out a little bit, Tim.
Check that 2nd down and 17, excuse me. Wyatt wants to throw, he does, as he completes it at the 46-yard line to Alvin Banks, and that will be getting them back the yardage they had lost with a couple. It brings down 3rd down. 3rd down and about 7. Watch your replay.
What a nice pass, Tim.
You're absolutely right. No, you were right on target in our pregame conversation. Both of these teams don't like to pass, but both of these quarterbacks are doing a better and better job all the time.
And the more they pass, the better, the more confidence they get in themselves.
3rd down and 7 for the Crabbers.
Nice
Again,
shot.
Out of the shotgun. Wyatt, who can run as well as throw, throws it over the middle, completes the pass on a beautiful reception to Solomon Bassett.
He's to come out of that backfield, Tim.
They completed at the Phoebus 35-yard line. You'll remember earlier in the contest, Bassett was the intended receiver, and Wyatt wasn't able to bring it down low enough. This time he threw it just perfectly. Wyatt stands in the pocket, and then a good job of Bassett holding onto the ball. He took a pretty good lick.
Nobody picked him up coming out of the backfield, Tim. You could see that on a replay. He was clearing the area before anybody noticed him.
At the Phoebus 35, this is a quarterback draw play to the 30 and wrestle down there. A flag comes down on the tackle.
We may have holding, Tim.
On the stop was number 11, Jason Hall, but let's see what the penalty flag is about. This is a clip against the Crabbers, so that will be a 3rd costly penalty. That's the 3rd 15-yarder against the Crabbers. 2 of them helped Phoebus with their sustained drive, and now the Crabbers, after a good gain on the first down play, will lose all that yardage. It's a point of infraction penalty.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as it could have been. Instead of 25. Oh, it is a 10-yard penalty.
No,
Tim.
it's 15. He said 15.
Oh, okay, but it's
was
only
from the
ended up
point of
being
the
10 years.
infraction.
Yeah.
They gained yardage to the 30, and they're back
Gotcha.
out to the 45.
Okay, so it could have been worse as far as.
It wasn't from the original spot.
Said
Okay, 45-yard line. It is first down still, but now it's 1st and 20. And again, Wyatt stays in the shotgun. Again, he wants to throw, and it's incomplete. This one intended for Alvin Banks, and almost picked off by DJ Parker, but he couldn't quite come up with it.
Just a little high, Tim, but he was covered pretty good. The defensive back that time was right with him. If we can watch the replay.
Had him well surrounded.
Yeah.
But if that ball's on target, his receiver was open. Couldn't bring it in. So it's 2nd and 20. And we are at the 13-second mark of the first quarter. Phoebus 7 and Hampton nothing. Out of the gun. Over the middle. Oh, intended for 21, Greg Taylor. And it was just off of his fingertips.
Tim, he took his eye off the ball. I think he heard some footsteps, but, you know, I thought it was a good pass.
Well, we'll see on the replay. You'll see that it just went through his fingertips.
Well, nice route. He ran a nice route.
Well, if he caught that ball, he might still be running because he had a good head of steam, and it didn't look like anyone was close to him. But you got to catch it first, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
So it brings up 3rd down and 20. Hampton trying to get back in this ball game, down 7-0. 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Wyatt has time, now throws, and this one's picked off. Down the right sideline and tossed out of bounds by Wyatt, but not until Jason Hall picks off the pass and returns it to the Hampton 42-yard line. And that will be the final play of the first quarter.
29-yard return.
That's a 29-yard interception return by Jason Hall, and the Phantoms are in business. Watch your replay. He steps up in the pocket and then just throws an ill-advised pass because that pass was well underthrown, and Jason Hall knew exactly what to do with it. Wyatt makes the stop, but not until they get all the way back to the Hampton 42 with the last play of the first quarter. Phoebus has to be very pleased with the way they've played in this first quarter, and quite frankly, I'm sure Mike Smith and his coaching staff are going to tell his team, you can't make these foolish penalties.
Well, yeah, if you look at it right now, Phoebus has not shot themselves in the foot. They have not made any mistakes, any penalties that have brought back. They have executed their game plan exactly like Coach wanted to do. He told me earlier in the week, Tim, he said, I am going to put the ball up a little more than I normally do, and that's because of the respect he has for the Crabber defense and running against. But now he'll have better running success because of his passing is working. So, you know, they'll complement each other.
Well, 3 15-yard penalties against Hampton and an interception have been the story of this ball game so far. If you joined us late, the Phantoms took the opening kickoff and drove 79 yards, aided by 2 major penalties, and Xavier Adibi scored from 2 yards out, and the extra point was good to make it 7-0. Now the Phantoms will have the ball at the Hampton 42 after the interception. And off to Travis McWright as he'll pick up about 2 to the 40.
Well, Hampton had a lot of men at that line of scrimmage that time. They were expecting the run, and they got just exactly what they thought they was going to get.
You know, that's, of course, that's what you want, is you want to have the right defensive alignment for the right offensive.
Right, if you see right there, look at it was stacked up. There was a lot of defensive men there. A lot of coaches will fake that and go for the a long pass gainer when you have a change of possession because of a turnover.
Even 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. Hendricks has the ball tipped and falls incomplete. Boy, I tell you, when you're the coach, when that ball is tipped and it goes up near your heart, just goes right to your throat.
Because all the defensive players, they work on that tip drill.
Well, and when it's popped up like that, and this one didn't go that high in the air, but it gives almost everybody a chance to haul it down, offense and defense.
Well, and when the defensive man tips the ball, Tim, he's supposed to yell something to let the other alert his players.
Phoebus has taken a timeout here with 11:21 remaining in the first half with a 3rd down and 7. Bill Dee might feel that this could be a very pivotal play in this game.
Well, you know, you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Tim, I do want to take a moment here and tell you about Zooms. They're giving an award to the senior player on each of the football teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. We would like to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continued support of WHCS and our student athletes, and to let you know who are the young men from these teams. Phoebus has number 9, Marlon Ellis, who has done a good job tonight, and for Hampton is number 1, the kicker, Aaron Whitehead. Also from Kickintan, number 52, Tommy Hammond, and from the Bethel Bruins, number 54, Jonas Watson. Congratulations to those 4 young men. Job well done.
Also want to mention that the halftime ceremony, we'll get to that in just a second. A pass completed to DJ Parker as he is at the Hampton 27-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Phantoms.
I tell you, DJ is doing a job, isn't he?
But it will be wiped out because the Phantoms have made their first mistake, an illegal block on the play. Penalty flag will wipe that one out. Parker with a nice grab, but it'll be go for naught. Referee McCullough will mark off the yardage, and instead of a first down, it will be 3rd down and longer.
Yeah, and it'll be a point of infraction foul too, Tim, which is about at the line of scrimmage. I mean, at the down marker, not at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty there.
That's a 15-yarder. Oh, illegal block.
Fence. 15 yards.
We just, I'm hopeful the folks at home are able to hear him better than we are, because it seems to be breaking up. I want to remind everybody that the halftime ceremony, the Hampton High School Marching Band will perform, and that will be shown at the conclusion of tonight's ball game. So please, if you have interest in the band and that particular aspect of the game, it'll be right after the game is over right here. The intended pass receiver was Philip Brown again, but this one was well off the mark, and now the Phantoms, instead of first down at the Hampton 32, boy, those penalties have just been killers for both teams.
They'll kill you. Tim, I thought this was a well-thrown pass. He was leading him. He threw the ball out in front of him, and that's what you want, him to catch the ball on the move. But I think what Brown was doing, Tim, was kind of looking for, let me catch the ball and then find where I'm going to go.
Narvid back in deep punt formation, gets a nice looking kick away. Banks fields it at the 25. And he will be fielded at the 24.
Number 15 for the Phantoms was down there very quick. That's David Williams.
Jason Hall also down there. And again, the special teams for the Phantoms did an excellent job. They give him progress back to the 25, so it's a no return on the kick here. This 31 yards on the punt and no return. Just an excellent job. That was not a high kick, so you know the special teams did a good job of getting down there. So the Crabbers will have it at their 25-yard line. They turned it over last time, and they were 3 and out the time before. Wyatt on the draw play, and that's good for about 3.
Who was that had the ball like that? Was that Alvin Banks, number 8?
I believe yes, it was Alvin Banks, number 8, with the ball. He'll mark his forward progress to the 28-yard line, a gain of 3. Watch it again on the replay. Just a simple draw play to the tailback, and picks up 3. Nothing in favor of the Phantoms. 10:09 to go in the first half. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz from the Channel 46 crew. Hope you're enjoying tonight's contest. Big battle between the undefeated Hampton Crabbers and the once defeated Phoebus Phantoms. Stephen Wyatt will get to the 30-yard line, a gain of 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Crabbers.
I believe that was a quarterback draw, Tim. It was out of the shotgun. I don't think he was even looking to pass the ball that time.
No, I think you're absolutely correct. This was a design play. He never intended to throw it.
That's exactly what it was. Phantoms are aware of that play because that is something the Crabbers have had tremendous success with over the years.
So a big third down here for Hampton. They need to get to their 35-yard line to move the chains. They spread out double wide to the near side, double wide to the left side. And the pass over the middle and incomplete. That one intended for number 81, Johnny Pugh Jr. And a couple of Phantoms crashed into each other. Let's hope they're able to continue.
I hope so too, Tim.
Both of them slowed it up, and they're two crucial members of the offense as well. That was Alvin Banks. That was Vernon Lee, rather, and Marlon Ellis.
Right.
Who ran into each other, as you see on the replay there.
But they're doing the job. And there's a good shot of the Crabber sideline. Mike Smith walking towards you, Danny Mitchell right next to the camera.
And if the sun seemed to be blocked for a moment, that was Stephen Williams who was in your picture. This is a high, short kick, and it takes a backward swing and spin, and very alertly grabbed by Darylyn Fenner, because that ball would have continued to go back. Looked like a 9-iron shot.
Don't you wish you could get a 9-iron shot to do something like that?
Just a 14-yard punt with no return.
Call Pearls for all your drapes. They will custom design these drapes by the interior decorators Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will come to your home and do a free consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call, 722-1907.
Fake pitch, handoff on the inside to Xavier Adibi. He's across the 40. Line of scrimmage for the play was the 43, so they'll mark him almost 5 yards at the 38-yard line. So 2nd down and 5. Xavier Adibi doing a fine job complimenting the smaller and quicker Travis McWright. Again, Hendricks continues to play very well at quarterback. He doesn't do a lot of flashy stuff, but he just does some good, solid quarterbacking.
Well, he's very good technician. He does the little things that go unnoticed and runs the offense very well.
Kind of reminds me.
Stays within himself. Go ahead.
Kind of reminds me of the comment. He doesn't lose the ball game for. He does what he needs to do. He understands that his role is not necessarily to be the big key runner and to emphasize the passing game. He's to complement.
Exactly. He does a good job executing what he's supposed to do.
3rd down and about 2 for the Phantoms. And this will be very close to the 1st down.
Don't know that he got it, Tim. The Crabbers were kind of ready for that formation.
Yeah, the formation was a spread formation, and they gave it to Adibi, and he did not get the 1st down. So now Bill Dee will have a decision to make, because he's going to come up about a yard short. Watch the replay. This was a quick hitter to Adibi, and he got to the 34-yard line, but needed to get to the 33.5. So he's about less than half a yard.
Tim, he ran into a big guy that's about 350 pounds, 6'3", Stephen Williams.
That's what I was talking about earlier. And now we have a stoppage of play and a timeout called by the Phantoms with 7:14. That's their 2nd timeout here in the 1st half.
I want to recognize Channel 46. They won an international award. Scotty Bowers, the director of WHCS and Television Services, learned that they won the Telly Award, and this is a video entitled Past, Present, and Future. It began in 1980. This is a award that was won earlier by such people as HBO, the Sci-Fi Channel, Touchstone Pictures, the Discovery Channel. Just an unbelievable amount of prestige there with this award. And then to turn around, they got another award for the same video, Best of Show. And of course, this really showcased the people who were involved in this. The director was Don Chiraus, the editor Andy Foley, written and produced by Mike Nowinski, executive producer Scotty Bowers. Congratulations, fellas. What a tremendous award.
All right, the Phantoms, 4th down and about 3/4 of a yard. And they'll give it left side to Adibi, and he has 4 of the yards, so he'll have more than enough for a 1st down at the Hampton 30.
Xavier Adibi, Tim, 6'4", 215, but he lowers those shoulders and get those feet going and just does an outstanding job.
He is the big power runner. McWright, of course, the fleet-footed one, and they complement each other very well. 1st down at the Hampton 30. This is McWright. Check that, not McWright, but rather that's Philip Brown, number 2, not 22.
Kind of messed you up. They took a 2 away.
You can't take any. I'm not good at subtraction. I can work with addition.
The addition's okay. It's the subtraction that gets you.
That's it. So Philip Brown picks up about almost 5 as you watch the replay here. Again, good blocking. The left side of that offensive line has just been an outstanding job. Not to in any way not suggest the right side isn't doing well, but when they've needed the yardage recently, they've tried the left side of the offensive line. When Adibi got the first down on that play. This is a pass to DJ Parker, and he can't hold on to it. He had that ball, and it would have been close to a first down, but he couldn't wrap it up.
Well, Tim, I tell you the truth, I'm real impressed with the throwing ability of Ronnie Hendricks, doing a great job. We're having a little moving going on here.
I think we're trying to get Nick McCullough's mic to quit breaking up if we can.
Well, that would be great. Don Chirouse is out here giving us a hand, trying to do some repairs as we talk.
26-yard line is where they've marked it. And this is a slow developing draw play, and the Hampton defense, you can't give the Hampton defense that much time to react.
No, that was, you're right. It was just too slow developing. McWright does a much better job with the quick hitters and with a full head of steam, and it was a draw play, but it was just not well executed.
So now they're faced with a 4th down and long. Watch the replay. You'll see what I'm speaking of. They just kind of took their time and it really ran it to the wrong side because the Hampton defense had the right side stacked. And now it brings up 4th down and long, 4th down and about 7. And they'll go for it. Hendricks has got a man open. He's got Philip Brown, and he's got the first down inside the Hampton 15-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, that's a long pass that he made from the hash mark on the left side, clear almost to the sideline.
Philip Brown has just been outstanding in this ball game in all the facets of the game that he's been involved in.
He really has, Tim. I'm impressed with not only him catching the ball, but the nice tight spiral of the pass by Ronnie Hendricks.
13 yards on the play, and it's first down at the Hampton 14-yard line. Ronnie Hendricks gives to McWright, and this time it executes much more quickly, and he is tripped up inside the 5 at the 4-yard line, close to the first down.
I think it is a first down.
It is,
Tim.
in fact. The 4-yard line is the mark for the first down. He got almost to the 2. So the Phantoms are at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, leading 7-0. Here's the replay. And McWright, this is exactly what I was talking about, and you were right on target with it too. He can't let too much time develop because he's very quick, and you give him that much time, he'll pick up the yardage.
Well, here I look for the full. No, they're going right back to McWright.
And McWright drives toward the goal line,
and
touchdown.
He got it.
Twin 2-yard runs have given the Phantoms a 13-0 lead with 4:43 remaining in the first half. Jason Nickel will try the extra point. His kick is up. It's long enough, and it's perfect. So the Phantoms have scored their second 2-yard touchdown. And we'll watch the replay of the score as McWright, you talked about his extra weight and the weight room that he's been working on. It showed there in his leg drive as he pushed the defender into the end zone.
Unbelievable determination that time by young Travis McWright.
So the Phantoms up on top, 14-0, and I don't think there's a lot of people that would have figured that the Phantoms would be shutting out the Crabbers at this point in the first half.
No, Tim, most everybody I talked to thought the game was going to be in favor of the Crabbers early on, and with the Phantoms coming back to make it a tight game. So,
but and it's certainly by no means out of any reach at this point. Taken by Darylyn Fenner at the 19-yard line. He returns it to the 30. So the Crabbers will have 3 timeouts and 4:37 on the clock to do something before halftime.
About an 11-yard return, I think I heard Mr. Killen say. And I say Mr. I use that word very loosely.
So Hampton will start from their 30. Hampton with 2 shutouts this year, and it's been not expected to see them trailing 14-0 at this point, as the keeper by Stephen Wyatt picks up a couple of yards.
That was a running the option play that time, Tim.
Yep. Had the option and decided to keep it. Watch the replay here, it'll show you. And he really looked like he was predetermined that he was going to keep the ball, although that option was just that, an option he had. But a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 for the Crabbers, trailing 14-0 as we're approaching halftime. Out of the shotgun, Wyatt over the middle.
Oh, nice pass.
Alvin Banks has it at the 50, and he's down to the 46-yard line, but that'll be more than enough for a Crabber first down. Mark it at the 46. 21-yard pass play. Here's the replay. You'll see Wyatt has plenty of time. Offensive line did a good job.
Did you see the tight spiral again? Right on the money. He's had passes that hit the hands of players tonight that were not caught, that sometimes could have been caught. But nice pass that time. But
Wyatt,
where did he come from?
He just ducked under a tackler. It looked like he was.
Oh, Shaheed Harris says, I know I got him. And he reached for him and he went right under him.
Well, that's what Wyatt will do. He is so elusive. He can escape very, very easily. He's a very adept runner, and he marked the ball at the 41-yard line. Look at this. And all of a sudden, out of the pack comes Stephen Wyatt.
Well, in all fairness to Shaheed Harris, Tim, he went with his hands up to block the expected pass, which allowed, he left his feet and allowed Wyatt just to say, whoops, I can get out of here. This big guy coming at me.
Instead of a loss of 3, it's a gain of 5. Again, working almost exclusively out of the gun now, and this one's overthrown as the intended receiver, Andre McClone, was just not tall enough to grab that one.
No, McClone, Tim, he's one of the wideouts. In fact, he's the flanker, number 5. And he's a big kid, though, Tim. He's 6'3".
He just needed to be 7'3". That's the only problem. That play.
Well, if he's 7'3", he would be on the basketball court. I don't know if he'd be out there or not.
So that stops the clock with 2:51 left in the half. 3rd down and 5. Again, out of the gun. Wyatt has plenty of time. Now decides to try and run with the ball, and he will not get the first down as he'll fall short of it by about 2 yards. He'll mark his forward progress at about the 38-yard line. He needs to get across the 36. So now the Crabbers will be forced with a decision. Here's your replay.
Well, this is where you find out where you got confidence in that offensive line, Tim. And I don't believe Mike Smith even is thinking punt.
Excellent effort by Wyatt. He picked up a couple of yards on his 2nd and 3rd effort to make it a short 4th down and long one.
May try to pull him offside, and that's exactly what they did.
And they did it. And you know what? And we won't mention the young man who did, but you know he's upset because he knows what happened, and this is just standard Hampton football.
And they're.
Do they have popcorn at Zoom's? Because someone's got popcorn up here in the booth, and I'm about to go grab some.
I'm sure they've got it. They've got it all over at Zoom's. Give them a call. Go over and see them.
Watch this. You're going to see movement to the near side. You're going to see, there you saw it, encroachment in the neutral zone on the hard count. So the Crabbers don't have to worry about how to make the first down. They get it off of the penalty. So penalties playing a big factor here in the first half. This one overthrown. Again, needed to be about a foot taller, and that was Will Jennings on the route.
Flanker.
But the flanker was 5'11", needed to be 6'11".
Well, Tim, when Hampton went up there like that, I'm thinking we're gonna try to draw him offside. He's not back in the shotgun. He's up under the center. but that could mean two things. Maybe he's going to try a quarterback sneak.
Sure.
But my thought was exactly what they did.
2nd and 10. Still have their timeouts to use. This is Wyatt. Wyatt, again, with this elusive running. He gets away from a tackler, and he'll score. Stephen Wyatt from 32 yards out for the touchdown. That makes this game a whole different ball game with 1:35 left in the first half. That's why he is so dangerous. He's not only becoming a more effective passer as he goes along, but his passing helps his running game because they can't cheat up on it. You can't anticipate he's going to keep just running the ball. And the extra point by Whitehead makes it a 14-7 game. And the Hampton faithful are up on their feet.
They've got a lot. Watch the replay, and a nice move right here when he looks like he is stopped right here, Tim.
Oh, he spins
right away from two would-be tacklers.
And he has such great acceleration. Once he got past them, they weren't going to catch him.
Yeah, but it looked like he was going to be tackled by those two guys, but his nice spin move, very impressive.
And we understand that both of the bands are going to perform at halftime. This is not homecoming, but it just happens so that both of the Hampton and the Phoebus bands will do their thing. In fact, we see the band to our right is the Phantoms, and the band to our left out of your picture are the Crabbers bands. So we'll have that for you at the conclusion of tonight's contest. Double dipping them with both bands tonight.
Well, why not?
So the Crabbers, with their backs to the wall, down 14-0, and very little momentum, use the elusive running and passing of Stephen Wyatt to make it a 7-point ball game with 1:35 left in the first half.
And a nice call on that drawing them offside, Tim, to get that first down.
McWright will take it at the 10. He's across the 20, still on his feet, out to the 28-yard line. So an 18-yard return for Travis McWright. 51-yard kickoff and an 18-yard return. So the Phantoms with one timeout remaining here in the first half. Conceivably, as you watch the replay of the kickoff return, Travis McWright, and a good job initially making the stop by Jack Francis, number 87, but couldn't wrap him up. And again, that's that leg strength that Travis McWright has worked on. You would suspect that Bill Dee would be rather conservative here with the time running out here in the first half. He keeps it on the ground out close to the 35-yard line, so that's a gain of about 7.
Well, Tim, Bill hasn't got but one timeout. Hampton's got all their timeouts left.
And I think if Hampton could have a play here that would stop them for a loss, they might burn a timeout.
Yeah.
But at this point, they're not going to with that 7-yard gain. As you watch the replay here, Travis McWright just sneaking for 7 to the 35-yard line.
That's just like a cross buck that time. You got one back going one way and the other one going the other way.
Second down at about 4. And now an official's stoppage of play. We've got an equipment problem on McWright's helmet. So referee McCullough corrects the problem. And we're back underway. Clock moving less than a minute. McWright, he will not get the first down. So you wonder now, will Mike Smith burn a timeout here to save some time?
Well, it's only third, Tim, and he's got about it looks like less than a yard. Depends on where the mark is.
Yep. But you make a decision here. There's only 29 seconds as you watch the replay. You either make that decision here or there just won't be enough time, as McWright was stopped initially. And again, that leg drive got him an extra couple of yards. 3rd down and 1. Time running out here, and Adibi appears to have more than enough for the first down. He is out close to the 40, and that would get it by at least 2 yards, and that will, in fact, move the chains.
And I don't think that they're going to run another play, Tim.
No, I wouldn't imagine they will. They don't have to, and that will be the final play of the first half. So referee McCullough will indicate so by holding the ball up over his head, and that is the end of the first half. If you're a Phoebus fan, you're thrilled to death. If you're a Hampton fan, you're hopeful because your offense came to life there in the last minute 35. So we've reached halftime. Our score at halftime is Phoebus 14 and Hampton 7. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Welcome back to Darling Stadium. The halftime ceremonies have concluded. Again, we remind you that they will be shown at the end of the game, and they were very entertaining. We invite you to stay tuned for that right after the contest. You see the indication by referee McCullough. The Crabbers do get the ball to start the second half. In the first half, the Phantoms rushed the ball 25 times for 109 yards. Their leading rusher was Travis McWright with 15 carries for 67 yards. And, of course, McWright did have a touchdown, as did Adibi. They passed the ball 8 times, completed 3 of them for just 17 yards, and Philip Brown was the leading receiver with 1 catch for 13. They did not fumble the ball. The Phantoms were penalized twice for 20 yards, and they registered 10 first downs, and they had a total offensive attack of 126 yards in the first half. There you see the Hampton fans with their message, and we won't even go into the fact that they haven't got channel 46 on. They got
I don't
channel.
know what's wrong. Put it down, fellas. You blew it.
For the Crabbers, they rushed the ball 10 times for 46 yards. Their leading rusher was Stephen Wyatt, 8 carries for 42, including that 32-yard touchdown with 1:35 to go in the half. Wyatt completed 3 of 11 passes, was picked off once for 50 yards. And Solomon Bassett was the leading receiver for 1 catch for 20. The Crabbers did not fumble the ball. They were penalized 3 times for 45 yards, 5 first downs, and just a total offensive 66 yards in the first half. This kickoff will go out of bounds, and I guess since he touched it, they won't get it at the 40.
No, once he touches it, it goes out there.
Even though the momentum of the ball carried it out.
28 yards.
Just a 28-yard kickoff, and fortunately for the Phantoms, the Crabber touched the ball. Otherwise, it would have been out at the 40. So they'll mark it at the 32-yard line. The Crabbers down 14-7 as we get the second half underway. And we understand that is Mrs. Whitehead in the picture. That would be the
Aaron Whitehead's the kicker's mama for the Crabbers.
Stephen Wyatt. Play action pass, completes the pass at the 48-yard line, and his forward progress is stopped there. The receiver was Solomon Bassett, and that's the second time he's caught a pass tonight.
Coming right out of the backfield, Tim. Want to remind the fans that we will pick a player of the game from both of these plays today as we watch the replay. Each player will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from an engraving ink. Located tab square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalter at 596-8850.
And that is enough for a first down at the Hampton 48-yard line. Bassett the receiver. Wyatt this time will set up in the gun, and he'll keep it on the quarterback keeper. And Wyatt will get to the 43-yard line, so he'll get almost enough for a first down depending on the mark.
And that shirt comes from the Islanders Sporting Goods. They're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts, the owner, as you watch the replay. Nice run.
And they will measure for the first down as it is close enough. And it's going to be real close. I'm not sure Eagle Eye here can give you. I think he made it by about an inch. That's how close this measurement will be. Well, he missed it by about 6, so I knew it was going to be close. Tough call. I didn't like that. I didn't like that lineup at all.
Hey, if you need mini or vertical blinds, or you need your blinds repaired, as if Tim does.
I need my eyes repaired.
Oh, well, I know you need those too, but Pearls is one of the few places that repair blinds. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. That's Pearls, 15 North Mallory, Phoebus.
43-yard line, second down and inches. About the length of the ball, to be exact. Waiting to get the change reset on the far sideline, and we're back underway with 11:20 remaining in the third quarter. Hampton down by 7. And at quarterback keeper, he might have gotten it. It'll depend on Mark It's going to be close.
I don't think he not from that mark.
Not from where they're showing it. In fact, he lost. Just a reminder that tonight's contest is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where your manager is Nancy Staten. And here, watch the replay. The ball was clearly on the 43, and it's still on the 43. They're going to bring the chains all the way. If he didn't get it the last time, he didn't get it this time because the ball didn't move at about 2 inches.
Yeah. And he showed about 6 to 8 inches.
Yeah, he needed the length of the ball last time, so it'll still be short of the first down by about the same distance. Yep, see, that was basically no gain. Let me finish my thought here. Nancy Staten is the manager over at Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home. They're conveniently located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of their facility, give them a call at 827-4670. We appreciate our corporate sponsors helping to defray the cost of bringing you the best high school sports in the state of Virginia, your Virginia Peninsula District.
Again, now you got to be careful of the drawing off, being pulled offside.
You know, This time they're ready. Quick count, and that'll be Alvin Banks, and Banks will get more than enough for the first down, this time down to the Phoebus 39-yard line.
And again, one of our other sponsors, of course, is Zooms, and Zoom's got 14 locations. New location over there on Big Bethel Road, Tim, just opened up. Beautiful facility. Get a chance. We can go over there and pick up some gas for about, I think it's $1.10.
Oh, yeah, it's real inexpensive. Will Jennings checked that, not Will Jennings, but rather Jason Hall makes the stop for the Phantoms. But first down, and now we've had premature motion by the offensive line of Hampton, and that'll cost them 5. Started off with some crucial penalties in the first half, 2 of them that aided the scoring drive on the opening kickoff by the Phantoms, but then it kind of settled down, and there was only a total of 5 penalties in the first half.
Yeah, and which is you got to say hats off to both teams, Tim. They're playing pretty close to error-free football, and that's what you want to do. Those first ones really hurt the Crabbers, gave the momentum to the Phantoms, able them to score that first touchdown.
Cheap 30 yards. So a 5-yard mark off against Hampton. Wyatt out of the gun with no one back there but Wyatt. And now he'll take off, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage, or barely if so, as the defense on that right side reacted very quickly. So he picked up maybe a half a yard as they move the marker over there to the 43-yard line, but brings up second down and long, second down and 14.
That was Travis Quidera again, Tim, on the stop. Nice job. You watch him, big number 85, right there coming in and just driving him backwards.
Both teams have just looked really good. These are 2 excellent football teams, and your comment at the beginning of our program tonight is that it's possible we'd have 4 Peninsula District teams in Division 5. Over the middle, that one is completed at the 38-yard line. That would be the original line of scrimmage, so that'll pick up almost 5, and it brings up third down and about 10, depending on the mark. Looks like they'll actually give him an extra yard, so it's third down and 9 now.
Number 10, Jeremy Blunt. Tim, if you look at the top of your screen, there's 2 receivers, but there's only 1 defensive over there. And Jeremy Blunt, number 10, come up and said, wait a minute, somebody's got to be on this other split receiver over here.
Andre McClone was the receiver. Third down and 9 for the Crabbers. 8:43 remaining in the third quarter. Wyatt has plenty of time. Ball is picked off.
Whoa!
Right out of the air. I thought for a moment it was batted, but that's
Shaheed Harris.
Yep. That big 6'5" frame just leaped up and grabbed that out of the air.
I told you he had good hands.
He does have good hands, as evidenced by that. And that ball was thrown from short range. Watch this. You're going to see, boom, right there. Now, I was looking for the ball to go flying in the air.
It was, too.
And it didn't. He must have glue on his fingers. Harris brought that one in, and the Phantoms get their second pick of the night. Jason Hall got one earlier. Now Harris with the second interception of a Stephen Wyatt pass, and the Phantoms stop the offense. Near side is Brown and DJ Parker. They'll keep it up the middle with Adibi.
And he just keeps moving the pile.
Xavier Adibi, the younger brother of Nathaniel Adibi. Of course, he is doing well at Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech is doing well. You know, everybody thought, well, Michael Vick is gone. I guess that just dooms the Texters.
They're not a one-player team. Right here, as you watch, he just follows his blockers, Tim.
It's the announcers over here.
Second down and about 6 for the Phantoms. This is McWright. Travis McWright picks up about 3. It'll bring up a 3rd and short.
And Darlin Fenner, number 44, is hanging on to him. Tim, this is the announcement for all the young ladies and young men over at Hampton High School. They're interested in outdoor track. There is going to be a meeting Wednesday, October the 17th at 3 p.m. The girls will meet in room 162 with Coach Ron ESPN Baton, and the boys will meet in room 164 with Coach Williams.
On 3rd and 2, the Phantoms convert the first down as they move the ball across the Hampton 45 to the 43-yard line. More than enough. And again, that offensive line is just doing an excellent job of pushing the defensive line for the Crabbers. Clock moves with 7:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Phoebus 14, Hampton 7. Hampton trailed 14-0, and a late 2nd quarter score made it a 7-point game at halftime. And now Hendricks under control to McWright, and McWright tries the left side. He's across the 40 down to the 37-yard line, so he'll pick up about 6.
And that was Fenner again, Tim, hanging on to McWright as he goes shooting through the line of scrimmage. Fenner playing one of those. I think he plays one of the defensive linebackers.
So McWright, who we saw last week was the workhorse, is doing the same tonight, although Adibi is giving him some pretty good support. 2nd down and 4. And again, McWright gets the call.
Oh, what a hit.
Yeah, he was nailed, but still picked up 2 to the 35-yard line. I was trying to see who.
Andre Schuler, Tim, number 33.
33, he met him hard. But not again until 2 yards were gained. So 3rd down and 2, 6 yards on the first down, 2 yards on the second. Here's the replay of this last pick. Now you're going to see a major collision.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for the Phantoms, he was able to move forward for 2. And again, that good leg drive I've alluded to on several occasions doing the job for McWright.
Schuler coming from that outside linebacker position, very close to the first down.
That's a DB getting the call, and it's going to be very close, as you said, Bob, depending on the mark. And we may very well see another measurement here. Let's just see where they do mark the ball. They needed to get to the 33, and it is a first down. They've made that by about a foot.
Well, McCullough may call in the chains, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to be sure, and that's not a bad idea. Tim, want to let the fans know. Watch it as we watch the replay.
Before you do that, I'm going to tell you it's a first down. I missed my first call, but I got this one right. This is a first down by the length of the ball.
Oh, and you had a little cushion in there. Next week, what is that? October the 19th, we'll have Bethel High School in Kickintan here, so get out and watch these games. $4. You can't get a better value than that.
Well, and the weather, I mean, I can't obviously tell you what it'll be next Friday, but tonight.
Oh, it's going to be just like this.
Perfect. I mean, there's people in the stands with shirt sleeves on. There's people with a light jacket.
You got shorts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely. Go out and support your high school sports. These kids work hard all week, and they deserve your support. Travis McWright sweeps the right end, and he's got good yardage. And again, that offensive line of the Phantoms just keep pounding away, and they're having some success against the Hampton defense.
And this is one of the few times that he's pitched it and got a good block on the outside and sealed that defensive end and got a good run off of it. Last time they tried to do that, Tim, he got thrown for a loss.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3.
Now you give it to your workhorses right up the center.
Got Philip Brown outside, or just barely outside your picture, and this is a DB and a potential touchdown saving tackle because he had some momentum. That was Travis Richmond who got him by the ankle and prevented a bigger gain by Xavier Adibi. But again, the Phantoms move the chain. This is a good looking running play here. This is a pitch fake and an inside trap to Adibi. And I'm telling you, Richmond saved what could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, because he got ahead of steam. It was going to be hard to hold him.
19-yard line is where they've moved the chains. Another first down. Again on the ground, McWright bobs and weaves his way across the 15 down to about the 13, and the Phantoms just keep driving the ball on the ground, eating up clock. We got 4:21 remaining in the third quarter. All the scoring occurred in the first half. Hampton led a touchdown in the first drive as you watch McWright pick his spots. He's so quick. But Phoebus took the opening drive and scored from 2 yards out for a DB, and then McWright from 2 yards out made it 14-0, and then Hampton made it a 7-point game. But now this is a DB inside the 5, 1st and goal for the Phantoms.
Tim, what a statement the Phantoms are making, Tim. They have not put the ball in the air on this series at all.
Haven't needed to. They're picking up
everything on the ground.
Yep. Here's the replay. I mean, this is a big gain here. This is almost a touchdown by a DB again. 1st and goal. McWright, and McWright is slowed, but he is not. He's not in. The players thought he was, but apparently his knee.
The official said no. There was a ball popped loose, Tim, and the official said no. The ball, he was down. So he pointed to the ground.
Well, my point was still that they thought it was a touchdown, but the ball came loose and was recovered right at the goal line. I mean, if you can look at the ball in the middle of your picture there, you can see it is right on the chalk. 2nd and goal, 2nd and inches. Quarterback keeper from Hendricks. He is across, touchdown. So the Phantoms go on top 20-7 on what has to be deemed to be an almost perfect drive after the interception by Harris.
And what an interception, Tim, because I was like you. I'm looking down the field where that ball is going to be, where a receiver was.
Nickel will try and make it a 14-point game again. And his kick is blocked. This is going to be wiped out, no good, so the score will remain 20-7, and you have to always worry about how something like that could affect the outcome of a game. And we got plenty of game left. We got more than 15 minutes left. Here's the score. You see Hendricks just follow the big offensive line that did such a great job on this drive.
And he really just went right over the left guard, Tim, and just said, okay, you give me an inch.
And when you move the Hampton defense like the offensive line for the Phantoms have done, you've done a real fine job, because this is not a bunch of lightweights up there.
And you got to really take your hat off to that offensive line, Tim, because, again, there was no passes on that drive.
Well, you were right on target in our pregame show talking about those big offensive lines. You must have that crystal ball all shined up and
everything.
Yeah.
I'll give you the lottery numbers later on.
I hope so. All right.
You need them, right?
I can use them. Thank you. Short kick again, taken at the 29-yard line and stepping out of bounds at the 34-yard line. The Crabbers, number 15, Claysell Brown, returned it. So the Crabbers will start with good shape at the 34-yard line of Hampton. But they find themselves down by 13. And again, I emphasize that one missed extra point can come back to haunt you. Scoreboard shows that Phoebus only has one timeout remaining. I don't remember them taking
they didn't take it. That's the way it was at the end of the first half.
Okay.
They both have 3 timeouts.
I thought so. All right, 34-yard line is where Wyatt will start him. He's under center this time, and out of the I formation. They'll play action, fake it. He's got a man wide open down the near sideline, McClone, but instead they go to the short man. That was number 12, Travis Richmond, but McClone was untouched as he went down. He was about the 40-yard line. Had they spotted him, he would have never been touched.
We got a flag thrown out. It looks like it's on the Hampton bench.
Let's watch the replay here. Completed pass to Richmond.
Oh, they flagged. I don't know. There was a warning flag. A warning flag that the Crabbers were too close to the field.
So they don't, in fact, get penalized.
No, it's just they get a warning, one warning. The next time it'll be a penalty.
So the pass was good enough for a first down at the Hampton 45-yard line. A gain of 11.
First time he's passed out of that formation. Most of the passes have come from the shotgun formation.
I think Wyatt
yeah.
Wyatt is much more comfortable out of the gun.
Well, because he's really a good runner.
Yeah, and being back there, he can pick his spots.
Right.
Here's the replay. The last handoff. So they mark it across the Hampton 48-yard line. It's a gain of about 3. Let's call it 2nd down and 7. Again, Wyatt under center. Play action. Good block by Banks to spring Wyatt, and Wyatt will get into Phoebus territory. He'll be short of the first down by about 1.5 yards, maybe 2, depending on the spot.
Big 75 for the Phantoms. Jonathan Marshall looked like he was coming in there. Was it 75? Yeah, I must have missed it.
Replay coming up.
Right here.
Banks
big 85. Big 85. That's who it was.
And Banks did a good job of picking him off. Otherwise, Wyatt would have been thrown for a loss. So a crucial down now. 3rd down and 2. Ball at the Phoebus 47. Out of the gun this time. Wyatt has time to look downfield. He throws into coverage, and this is picked off. This is DJ Parker, and Parker was stopped and ball came loose, but he recovered it. And the Phantoms have their 3rd interception of the ball game.
That was, who was that made the stop?
That was Tavares Dove, who was the intended receiver, but he threw right into coverage. DJ Parker was there, and that was an ill-advised pass. You're going to see it right here. Had double coverage on that receiver. Actually, he had man-to-man back there, but the pass was off the mark, and DJ Parker came up with it. He was stopped on the return at the 24. Had Dove not gotten him, Parker might still be running.
Well, he would have picked up at least 20 more yards.
Yep. So the Phantom defense does their job again. This is Travis McWright, and you got to know now the Hampton defense, and this is mid-season, so they're going to be in good a shape as they can be, and it's not a warm night, but they've been on the field the entire second half, and we have reached the 53-second mark in the quarter. And I don't have a record. I don't think Bob keeps the time of possession, but I'd have to think in the second half it's got to be 10 minutes to 2 minutes in favor of the Phantoms. This is Brown, Philip Brown, and he may go. It's a foot race. He's not going to get him. That's a touchdown.
My goodness, what a run by Philip Brown.
71 yards, Philip Brown for the touchdown.
And we're going to have got a flag, Tim, or maybe
probably celebration
or something, but you would think it would be the official down there in the end zone, not way out here.
Well, the flag thrown on the opposite side of the field, so you know it didn't involve a block. At least you would imagine it doesn't involve a block.
Touchdown is good. Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the...
I call it enjoying the play too much.
Is that what it's called?
It's called enjoying the play too much. Well, a stunned Hampton side of the field have watched the 71-yard touchdown by Philip Brown. That was a run of 71 yards, and Philip Brown just has been outstanding in the ballgame.
We don't get to hear Mick. He's not coming across, or maybe he's not to us. Maybe it's to the fans. But now you got an extra point of 35 yards, Tim.
26-7. The Phantoms on top. Mickle will have to really get into this one. He's got the distance, and he's got it through the uprights.
The one you thought he would miss, right? That's a 35-yard field goal, fella. Only gets you 1 point.
Watch the replay of the touchdown. This is Brown, and once he got past that attempted tackle, he just turned on the afterburners, and the Hampton defender could not catch him as hard as he tried. That was Stevie Peden, who just could not catch him.
Brown would not be denied.
And boy, is this a upset. I wouldn't say huge upset, but the score is a huge upset. I figured a close game, but 27-7 with 24 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, that's 2 scores in the third quarter for the Phantoms.
Yes, it is. I used a different color pen for my scoring.
Is that what you're doing?
That's an easy way to remember it when you get to be senile.
Well, what is that, or it doesn't work if you're colorblind, though, right?
Fortunately, I'm only just blind. Without my reading glasses, might as well. Bob was showing us that sheet with the stats on it. Every time I had my glasses on, I was like, all I could see was a yellow blur. Phantoms on top by 20. Darius Barnes with the short kick, and that goes out of bounds, so that will come to the unless it was touched by a Crabber. I didn't see that it was.
Well, I saw one of the Crabbers put his hand up, but I don't think he got a touch. If he don't, they'll bring the ball out to the
so they're talking to the Crabbers. I believe the option is to take it and have it re-kicked, I guess, or I thought it just went automatically to the 40. If you
I did too. I don't understand this. Illegal procedure. So there was somebody evidently crossed the line before he kicked it. Tim.
Well, I think that would be offsides. I mean, if you're offside, I think the kick is the illegal procedure that went out of bounds, but I thought it came to the 40.
Well, there you go.
35 is where you get it.
Well, they got
but
it.
It's not even on the. Got it at 36, so it obviously is where the ball went out of bounds. In any event, it is the Crabber football, and this is Solomon Bassett, and he is stopped. And we've got a different quarterback in there now for Hampton. That is Michael Roberts, number 10, who took the snap.
And that was number 12, Mike Dixon, who made a nice tackle in the backfield. Dixon playing one of those inside linebackers, just shot the gap.
We've got another penalty on the play.
And it's against the Phantoms.
And it's a big one. So referee McCullough will tell us. Unsportsmanlike is the call against the Phantoms.
And you know, you can't do any taunting.
We don't know that that's what it was, but
no, but
right.
you know, you can't even look like you're going to taunt.
And I like that rule. I don't like the celebration penalty, but I do like the taunting rule. And that one is grabbed at the 30-yard line on a very fine catch by Travis Richmond. And now I'm starting to do a little bit of my looking for the yellow hanky thing here, because we've had a bit of a proliferation of such in the second half.
Nice pass that time.
It was a very nice pass.
And this young man, Tim, is just a sophomore.
23 yards and a first down at the Phoebus 30. So quickly Hampton moves right down the field, and now
end of the quarter.
The end of the quarter. So we've played 3. And after 3 quarters, it's Phoebus 27 and Hampton 7. Bob, I have to tell you, when talking about the game and, you know, anticipating the matchup between these two very fine football teams, I never would have suspected either team would be leading by 20 after 3 quarters, and I think I would be in the majority to say if one were to consider that, since Hampton, I believe, is ranked number 1 in the state.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I tell you, the difference is the turnover.
Yeah, 3 turnovers. And untimely penalties. I mean, you know, and again, we both, for a change, hit it on the nail. in our pregame conversation. Hit the nail on the head. We talked about turnovers will kill you, and that's a perfect example of that. That we know, in my recollection, at least one, the last one, was a result after the pick. That interception down by DJ Parker ended up with a 71-yard run.
That's correct.
The opening kickoff
was Brown.
No, I'm talking about the pick.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Parker with the interception, and Brown with the touchdown. So the Crabbers going with a new quarterback. Michael Roberts, the sophomore, as you mentioned, he takes the direct snap. I'm trying to find Stephen Wyatt.
He's standing right on the sideline, Tim, number 7.
I didn't see him at first, but I do see him now.
He's standing right. He's right next to Mike.
Yeah, I have to assume that Mike feels that he's got to get a change of pace here and see if the young sophomore can get the team going. Second down after a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun. Roberts throws, and Banks has got it inside the 10. He caught it at about the 8-yard line.
Nice pass that time for a great catch.
You know, I don't know anything about this young Michael Roberts, but it could be that Wyatt, and we know Wyatt's a great running quarterback, but maybe Roberts is by far the more accurate passer, and when you're down by 20 points, you can't waste time with your team being in the 4th quarter.
We got a injured Phantom on the field, Tim.
That is Parker, I believe. DJ Parker, and he's holding his hamstring.
Well, he made a move because he needed to get over to B to cover that guy, and he was not. You could see something happen.
We have water if you got water.
And he is in some agony as they are attending to his left leg. Now let's just hope that this is a cramp and not a pull. As you watch the replay here, you're going to see Parker out of your picture, actually.
Yeah. Well, Tim, if you're looking for floor covering, carpet, tile, vinyl, you want to give Pearls a call. They're located in Phoebus. The number is 722-1907, and they'll give you free estimates. They'll come out to your house and do that, and they're located at 15 North Mallory.
And I'm happy
in Phoebus.
Sorry, you took pause there, and I thought you were done. I'm happy to tell you that Parker is able to get up, and he is not noticeably limping, so that's good news if you're a Phantom fan. And hopefully all it was a cramp. It's a cool evening, not a cold evening, and it's easy enough to cramp up. All right, huge spread offense, double wides to both sides, and Roberts out of the gun with Bassett in the backfield. Roberts will take the direct snap, and he will get down too, and the ball comes loose. And who's got it? The Phantoms say they do.
I think the Crabbers got it. Looked from this vantage point, looked like a red shirt went down on it.
Well, they say now a penalty flag comes down because somebody has apparently said something.
No, he bumped into official.
Okay, well, in any event, who's got the ball? The Phantoms say they do. No, I believe McCullough did indicate they do.
And it was a 15-yard penalty, but it'll be just half the distance of the goal line because one of the Phantoms, very excited, bumped into an official. If you can watch this, Tim, looked like he was going to get in. And right here, the ball is stripped.
Well, he's still got it right here. He's at the goal line before that ball comes out. Right there, he takes a hit, and the ball is loose now. And you can see,
right there, looked like to me
Williams was going after.
Yeah.
But then, you know,
if you continue to roll that, you will see that one of the Phantoms gets very excited, and the back official that is coming up towards the pile gets bumped. And as he gets bumped, he throws the flag. I think number 8 just bumps into him accidentally.
Yeah, I didn't.
I mean, it was not intentional, but
well, we don't know. You don't know whether he might have. We don't know. You can't tell from up here, but it did appear to be accidental at least. But in any event, the Phantoms have gotten the ball. Now they'll take a timeout as they sometimes when you have a turnover like this and you bring your offense out, everybody's excited and no one has really stopped to take a deep breath and say, okay, now wait a minute, let's collect ourselves. We don't need to fumble the ball in this circumstance because we'll certainly give up a golden opportunity for a score.
Well, not only that, Tim, you want to make sure that you execute right because you don't want to give them 2 points either. you don't want to give a safety, then turn around and have to punt the ball or kick the ball from the 20-yard line. So, you know, there's a lot of scenarios, but Bill Dee says, hey, we're going to call timeout. We still have 2, but we're going to make sure the play call we're going to do and everybody does what they're supposed to do, and let's find that open. Let's pick up enough breathing room, and hopefully maybe we can pick up a first down or 2 and run some time off the clock, because now Crabbers have got an extra opponent. They've got the clock. If that's against them, they got 11 minutes to go, but you got to get the ball.
He's going to break it.
Just a reminder, this fourth quarter brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral director. Give them a call at 827-4670. So the Phantoms just sticking on the ground with the ball.
And they get clear out to the 5, Tim.
Yep.
That was Xavier Deavy, Tim, put his head down and just said, I'm going to give me some breathing room here for my team.
Well, they've been effective in the second half running the ball. There's no question about that. One drive was done nothing but running the ball for a touchdown. And this is McWright, and he is across the 10, close to the first down. Needs to get to the 11. We'll see exactly where they mark him.
Yeah, he's going to be a little short.
Yeah, he's right at the 10, so it'll be third down and short. Third down at about a yard. Watch the replay here. So this is a huge potential 3rd and 1 for both teams. Quarterback keeper, and it looks like Hendricks got the first down as he moved the pile out close to the 12.
I don't know that he moved the pile, but the pile was moving and he just got behind it.
And it is a first down. So again, the Phantom running attack getting the job done. Watch the replay. He just put his head down and followed his blockers. He's got a couple of big boys in there. I was noticing
big number 77.
Quest King, 6'3", 305. Big boy. And this is Brown. Philip Brown just drives for another first down out to the 27-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain. Mark it at the 27. A first down for the Phantoms, and the clock under 9 minutes now. 55 yards total offense on the night for the Crabbers, on the rushing attack at least.
That was Brown again, Tim. Fresh legs running that ball, giving McWright giving him a little breather. Not that he needs it, he does a good job, but it's always nice to get fresh legs running that ball.
And we'll see the replay again. So now we've got a new number in the backfield. We've got trips in the back.
Oh, got a fumble, Tim. But Hendricks got on the ball.
2.
Was a miss. Hendricks, either he came out before he got the ball or something, but very alertly dove on the ball. Maybe lost about a half a yard.
But more importantly, did not lose the ball.
The new number in the backfield was number 9, Marlon Ellis.
Right. Yes, it was. And they've got trips in the backfield now. This is a different formation that they've not shown tonight. And this is kind of an option sweep here. And this is Brown, and Brown is in the open. And Brown is all the way down to the 40-yard line.
I'm impressed the way he's running the ball, Tim.
32 yards on that carry.
Just a junior. He'll be back next year. They've got him listed as a cornerback and a split receiver, but he's running from the tailback. But we got a injured player on the field.
Watch this.
Nice cutback here. And he says, so I might get away. Just kind of lost his balance on his spin move.
At the Hampton 40. 7:32 left in the fourth quarter.
But Tim,
a Phantom player shaken up.
When we picked a player of the game tonight, now I explained this happened last week. We have really, for not our purposes, but because of scheduling purposes, we would not be able to do one of the Phoebus games, and we normally would pick when Phoebus plays a team outside of the district. We will pick 2 players, so we didn't get the chance to do that. So we will pick 2 players from the Phantoms tonight, and not to slight the Crabbers, but the Crabbers end up with one more football game being televised than the Phantoms. So we will pick 2 players from the Phantoms tonight and one from the Crabbers. So I don't want people to get upset with them, but just trying to make it even for all the teams.
That was the aforementioned Philip Brown, who was shaken up on the play. But again, if you're a Phantom fan, you're glad to see him walking off with no visible signs of a problem. Shaken up on the play, but able to get off the field all right. So Hendricks will be under center. And this will be Travis McWright. Well, I tell you, you got a combination of a DB, Travis McWright, and Philip Brown in your running tandem. You're pretty explosive.
And number 12, Mike Dixon's coming in replacing Marlon Ellis, and he's bringing into play from Coach Dee.
Here's your replay again.
Crabbers were right on top of that one. There were 3 defensive players that hit Travis McWright before he could get to the line of scrimmage, and he actually lost a little bit of yardage.
And the one thing you're not going to see is the Hampton Crabbers giving up. They're going to be fighting this game like it was a 1-point game or a tie ball game. There you see just mass tackling. They have that pride. They're not about to just roll over and let Phantoms walk all over them. 6:30 on the clock as they stop the run for a gain to the, let's see where they finally mark this forward progress.
Well, barring a turnover, if the Phantoms can keep the ball on the ground and keep chewing up yardage and picking up first downs, that's really putting the monkey on the Crabbers' back if they do get the ball, because now we only got 6 minutes to go, and we got to come up with 2 scores.
Third down.
Or 3 scores.
Third down and 6. McWright, a flag down on the play. McWright has the first down, but let's see the penalty flag, and it's in that area that you might expect. Yep, holding against the offense. So the first down will be wiped out. See if you can detect the holding. It was right at the line of scrimmage. Can't see it in your picture there. But somebody grabbed somebody that held him too long, and that costs the first down. This is a spot foul, I believe. So the ball marked back to the Hampton 45-yard line. That would have been a first down right around the 20. And not only did they use the yardage, but they would have been able to burn some more time off for the first down. But now it's third down and long, third down and 15. And Hendricks will not get back to the line of scrimmage as he is tackled for a loss. And in on the stop, number 55 for the Crabbers, that's Darnell Allen. So that brings up 4th and long, and Bill Dee, needless to say, is not going to take any gambles here. They'll bring on the kicking team.
And I look for the Crabbers to maybe block this punt. If they don't block the punt, Tim, they're going to try to get a return on.
There you saw the play just never got underway. One of the few times that Hendricks has been stopped in the backfield like that. So the Phantoms allowing the time just to roll off of the clock. In fact, I think they're going to be content at this point to take a delay of the game to let the clock take as much time as it can. 4:57 and moving, and now the flag comes out with the delay at 4:55. That's right. Again, I remind everybody, next Friday night we'll be here for Kickingham and Bethel. So the 2 different Hampton City schools, and we'll look forward to being here for that, and hope you'll come out and support those two plans.
We talk about Zooms.
We haven't talked enough about it. This is a high, relatively short kick. Takes a Phoebus bounce out of bounds at the Hampton 32-yard line. You know, I didn't want to talk about Zooms because I am jonesing for some fried chicken or pizza, something terrible. I'm going to have to make a quick pit stop on the way home. I'm going to call the little lady and say, how does some fried chicken and potato wedges sound to you?
And she will have them ready as you come by. You can leave your car running, you jump in, come back, and they're ready to go. I know they treat you good.
Well, we like it then. Zooms has 14 Peninsula locations serving that excellent food and premium Citgo gasoline. Crabbers taking a lot of time getting this play underway. Seems to be some confusion in the backfield, and I think that comes with having a quarterback that, to my knowledge, hasn't started or played previously this year. Stephen Wyatt has been the man. This is a shuffle pass.
That's a shuffle pass. Nice.
And
nice
he's still
call.
going. He's still going. That's Alvin Banks. And Banks is not going to get all the way, but he'll be taken down at the 35-yard line. A big gain for the Crabbers from the 32 to the 35.
And that was Phillip Brown, Tim. And two things happened. Picked up a lot of yardage, Tim, and then went out of bounds, stopped the clock.
32-yard gain. Alvin Banks running. And as you said, out of bounds at the 34-yard line, stopping the clock with 4:35, but a 20-point deficit facing the Crabbers. Roberts throws, and that one's not even close, as he threw it much quicker than he wanted to. Getting some good pressure in the backfield by Mike Dixon, number 12.
And he was throwing that to a spot.
Yep.
And it was closer to the sideline than Andre McGlone was running. He was running more straight down the field and not up the sideline.
So just 4 seconds elapsed on that play. 4:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. This pass intended for McClone, just a little too far ahead of him.
Well, there's no way that he's going to kick the ball or go for a field goal or anything, Tim. This is third down, but they got 2 more downs that they're going to use to try to get that first down.
It is third down and 10. They need to get to the 25-yard line to keep the drive alive. 27-7 score in favor of the Phantoms of Phoebus High School. This game taped on the 12th of October 2001. Solomon Bassett goes in motion to the right side. This pass over the middle. Some contact, but no penalty flag, and I think that's a good no call. It did appear to be incidental contact.
Well, and the ball was well over the receiver's head.
So it does bring up that fourth down that you alluded to. Fourth down and 10. Crabbers not kicking. Down by 20. The Phantoms will be in great shape here if they can stop this fourth down conversion. Roberts over the middle, got Alvin Banks, but he will not get enough for the first down. He'll miss it by about a yard. He needed to get across the 25, and he's on the wrong side of the 25 if you're a Hampton fan. And the ball goes over on downs to Phoebus. Needed a yard more, and through no lack of effort, they come up short, and the ball goes over on down. So the subdued Hampton side of the field will start to head for the exits with just 4:17 remaining, and their team down by 20. Well, players of the game, Bob. You want to start thinking or talking about? No,
well,
thinking about it.
I've got 2 that I'm looking for the Phantoms, real close. Phantoms had to call a timeout, Tim. They were 1 man short on the sideline. You know, for the Crabbers, it's going to be a little tougher. Who do you think?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for making it my choice.
Well, I've already got mine too.
Well, here's where I was leaning.
All right.
But I also like this because that probably won't happen again. And my choice would be either one of those two.
Okay.
Those fans at home say, what? And what are they talking about? Well, we've got some names written down here, of course, that would be our unofficial, unscientific,
very unscientific,
best as we can come up with it. And you see the marching band having a good time in spite of the 20-point deficit on the Hampton sidelines. I guess we could wait, but I think we can probably go ahead and call out those players of the game if you want. 4:17 to go. Barring a miracle finish here,
well, let's go ahead and do it.
All right. Well, for Phoebus, consensus, and again, a lot of excellent choices to be made. But our choices will be Philip Brown. Gee, there's not a big surprise there. Number 2, as he just had an outstanding ball game. And the quarterback, Ron Hendricks, will be our second choice as the ball is handled to Adibi, who could have been a strong candidate for that. He's had an excellent ball game tonight, including a touchdown. Philip Brown had a touchdown. Hendricks had a touchdown. McWright had an excellent ball game. DJ Parker had an excellent ball game with the interception that led to that 71-yard touchdown scamper by Philip Brown, as you watch the replay there.
Shaheed Harris had a great game.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a very difficult choice to make. We're fortunate we have 2 choices we can make tonight for the Phantoms, as for the reasons that you mentioned earlier. This is Travis McWright, and he will get close to the first down. The ball comes loose. And let's see how they call this now. He was very close to the first down marker, but the ball popped loose. And they say Phoebus will retain possession, but they won't get the first down as a result of the fumble.
And it looked like Alan Pavlik, the center, is the one that ended up with the ball.
Watch the replay. You'll see the ball here. He's got the first down right there, but the ball goes backwards after the fumble.
Well, nice hit.
Yep. And
put that hat right on the ball when he made the tackle.
The good news is you got your ball back. The bad news is you didn't end up with a first down, which would have, for all intents and purposes, finished this ball game. They've got a 3rd and 1, and Hendricks, and again, that offensive line has just done an outstanding ball. If we could give a player of the game award to the offensive line, it would be well deserved, but we can't. Our good buddy over there I just heard him take a deep breath and almost choke.
Well, I blame Scotty for doing extra plaques.
That's right. That's right. Blame Scotty. Yeah, there you go. So,
and who we going? Okay.
All right, our Hampton player of the game, and again, a number of good selections there. We're going to go with Larry Callis, number 32, as having played an outstanding ball game tonight for the Crabbers. And we've got a penalty flag.
I think it was delayed.
Yeah. Took a little too much time.
Yeah, and you can see the Phantoms. Let's use the clock up. Let's take as much time off as we can. But right now, I think it's academic because there's no way the Crabbers, I don't think, can score 3 scores in 2.5 minutes.
Not the way Phoebus has played tonight.
But we do want to thank Dave Buckwalter out at Engraving Inc. and John Roberts, the owner of Islander Sporting Goods, for allowing us to pick players of the game.
And they are Larry Callis of Hampton and Ron Hendricks and Philip Brown of the Phantoms. First down and 15 after the delay penalty. Adibi carries to the 36-yard line. But more importantly, the clock is moving. Even though Hampton has 3 timeouts remaining, they don't seem to be in any hurry to exercise them. So Hampton will fall from the unbeaten ranks, and the Phantoms will have an identical record of 5-1 for each of these squads. And the opportunity, as Brown does a good job of evading a tackler, the opportunity exists, Bob, as you mentioned. Boy, I tell you, I'm going to check with you on the pick 3 in the big lotto this weekend. Potentially, we could see Hampton and Phoebus and Warwick and Heritage in the Division V first-round playoffs.
Could very well be. And you know, and I talked with Bill Dee about this, and he firmly believes 8-2 will get you in the playoffs.
Well, the problem on the peninsula is you've got the superior teams knocking each other off like this. You got Warwick beating Phoebus. You got Phoebus beating Hampton. Hampton beating Bethel.
Hampton beating Heritage, and Heritage losing to Phoebus.
Right.
Okay, it's going to be.
This is Philip Brown. Got to check with Bob and see how many yards Philip Brown has got on the night, because he has just been outstanding. I know he's got 100 just on 2 carries alone. So we'll give you that number in just a moment. And we got another player shaking up.
The 71-yard.
Yeah, the 71, right?
That was in a pass interception.
No, Philip Brown ran for 71 yards for the touchdown, Bob.
How was it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he ran. That was DJ Parker who intercepted the pass.
Yeah, Bobby, he went down and got his sandwich. And I'm not going to, I'll let people worry about what we're talking about, because I'm not going to explain that. It'll take me too long, and I'll probably get it wrong anyway.
1:04 on the clock as a injured Phantom, and I can't really make out who it is.
I
so won't
tried to get his number, and I couldn't.
Yeah. Now they 127 yards for Philip Brown, and one of those was 71 yards. That is Philip Brown that was shaken up.
And McWright probably has something right around there too.
And McWright with a similar total of yardage. So those two young men have really racked up the running yards, and Philip Brown deserves to come out for the last minute and 4. Hopefully he's just got a cramp. Phantoms will need him down the road, as he just played a really spectacular ball game tonight all around.
Well, that's Jerry Gentry, Tim, the trainer over there, walking alongside of Philip Brown, making sure that everything's okay.
So the clock will be restarted at this point. We have less than a minute remaining, and it's moving with 54 seconds. And now a timeout is being called. I believe Hampton has taken the timeout. They have. That's the first of 3 they have.
Well, that's the first timeout they've taken this game.
Yeah.
They did not use a timeout the first half.
Well, we've got some interesting contests still remaining on our schedule. As we mentioned, next Friday night we'll have Bethel and Kecoughtan here at Darling Stadium. Hope you'll come out and support your favorite team. Then the following Friday night we'll have Hampton and Kecoughtan. The following Friday night on that one we'll have Kecoughtan and Phoebus, and then we'll wrap it all up on the 9th of November with the contest between Heritage and Bethel here at Darling Stadium. So every Friday night between now and the 9th of November, you have no reason to stay home. You can spend 4 measly bucks and come out and watch some good high school football.
Oh, you most certainly can.
So Hampton will be 5-1. Phoebus will be 5-1. Now the Phantoms, looking at 4th down and about 5, will be in deep punt formation.
Oh,
this is over the head of Narvid. He'll do well to just fall on it and prevent Hampton from walking in with a touchdown. So about the only mistake the Phantoms have made any time in this ball game was a bad snap over the head of Greg Narvid, and the Crabbers will have an opportunity to add to their 7-point total.
Tim, that ball was, I mean, well over his head.
I talked earlier about one of the receivers needed to be 7'3". Narvid needed to be 12'4".
Well, that's, I mean, when he had his hand up, that ball was another 4 or 5 feet.
Watch the replay. It just went and launched a good 7 yards behind him before it even ended up on the ground. So Crabbers will have a chance to perhaps score here, although if you're the Phoebus defense, you want to keep that total right where it is. They've played a great game on both sides of the ball, Phoebus has. This is a pitch to Banks, and Banks is trapped in the backfield, and he won't get out of the backfield. He'll be lucky to get back to the 16-yard line, a loss of about 7 on the play.
And a DJ Parker, number 7, getting up and making that tackle.
And Hampton will use their second of 3 timeouts with 34 seconds remaining to delay the inevitable. You'll watch the replay here. This is a pitch back to Banks. And,
but the pitch was behind him, and he did a good job of making sure he caught the ball.
That's all he could really do. So the Crabbers will take their next to the last timeout. There you see Mike Smith. You know, you'd think it was 27-26 because he's coaching from the time they kick off till the time the final signal to the end of the ball game.
Absolutely, and it's a learning situation.
And he's got some young players in there getting some experience that haven't seen experience much this year. And again, we haven't seen all of Hampton's games, but certainly we have seen Michael Roberts, the young sophomore quarterback, in the second half here, and that's our first opportunity to see him, and he's looked pretty good. He wants to pass, and this one is off the mark. That was intended over the middle for Will Jennings, but well off the mark. Brings up third down, stops the clock with just 29 seconds remaining. And again, this is what you do. You know, you get a young quarterback, you want to give him some experience, you want to give him game conditions to find out what he might be doing. This is a sophomore. This young man might be the quarterback of the future for the Crabbers. Wyatt, of course, who has been the starter all year, is a senior, so someone will be replacing Wyatt next year. Roberts throws to the corner, and this one is incomplete. This was thrown out of bounds. Well, he's fourth down.
Throwing it to the spot in the end zone, Tim, and just overthrew it a little bit. And this is a touch that he will learn. This is a young man who's got a nice arm.
So we bring a fourth down up now, and Roberts will come over, get the call from Mike Smith. They need to get to the 2-yard line to keep the drive going. And of course, they need a touchdown and a whole lot of miracles for anything less than a loss here. Roberts, and this one is completed. That's Travis Richmond, and he will be short of.
No, it wasn't, Tim. It was.
Is it Bassett?
Bassett, yeah.
I thought it was 12, but in fact it was 42.
But he's short of the first down.
And Hampton wants to call a timeout, but it's futile because the ball has gone over to the Phantoms. They have held because of the downs. Needed to get to the 2, got to the 4.
Yeah. And we got another shaken up Phantom, Tim. These young men are just.
Well, they left it all on the field. There was a supreme effort. That's DJ Parker who's down. He was down earlier, and he might have cramped up again. So Parker is able to bounce up, and he'll get off the field, and the Phantoms will probably run one play, and the game will be over, although Hampton does have one timeout remaining.
Throw that ball, Killen says.
So the Phantoms will simply take a knee. Ron Hendricks will do so, and that will be your ball game as the clock will continue to run out. And the Phantoms pull the upset and defeat the previously unbeaten Hampton Crabbers. And the Phantoms and the Crabbers now with identical 5-1 records after the 27-7 victory. Tonight's game brought to you by Zooms with 14 Peninsula locations, your friendly neighborhood store, and brought to you by Pearls, located in Phoebus at 15 North Mallory. Give them a call at 722-1907, and in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is your funeral director. Call them at 827-4670. Bob, your thoughts as we wrap it up?
Oh, what a great game, Tim. I was very impressed with the offensive line of the Phantoms, and not that I was looking in a crystal ball or anything, but I knew that if you can control the line of scrimmage, you're going to be able to control the game, and I think they did that. Although, you know, you can't turn the ball over 3 times or 4 times like the Crabbers did and win many games. And I'm sure Mike Smith will be the first to tell you the very first scoring play by the Phantoms resulted because of 2 15-yard penalties. So that really got the momentum going for the Phantoms, and they just never lost it.
No, you can turn the ball over against a bad team, but you can't turn it over against a good team. All right, that's going to do it for us here at Darling Stadium. The final score is Phoebus 27 and Hampton 7. For Bob Henson, Bob Killen, and the entire 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.